Imagine living through every action and horror movie ever made before you turned 18. Can't imagine that? Obviously, you're not Harry Potter then. Deathly Hallows ends in the year 1998, if you don't count the epilogue. Cursed Child, the new Harry Potter play by J.K. Rowling, mostly takes place in 2020. So what did the boy who lived do in those 2 decades? Let's find out. But first, don't forget to subscribe to CBR and ring that bell to become a part of our notification squad so you never miss a video. Now hold on to your firebolt as we explore what Harry Potter did after the Deathly Hallows.
Give me the prophecy now.
Finally became an Auror. Since Order of the Phoenix, Harry had wanted to become an Auror. They're basically the magical SWAT team, the ones who call in to find and apprehend the most powerful dark witches and wizards. After the Battle of Hogwarts at the end of Deathly Hallows, he finally gets his wish. Harry would quickly rise through the ranks to become head of the Auror office by age 27. Luckily for him, the era following Voldemort's death was pretty quiet. But at the 427th Quidditch World Cup, Harry was spotted with a nasty cut on his cheekbone, likely the result of a duel with the lingering forces of darkness.
Take my hand.
He got married. Fans will never forget the moment Harry finally fell for Ginny Weasley. It takes him until Book 6, The Half-Blood Prince, when he and Ron catch Ginny and Dean Thomas making out in a hidden corridor. He suddenly feels like a monster has awoken from deep down inside, enraged at the unsuspecting Dean. Harry and Ginny finally become an item at the end of the book, but Harry breaks it off. He knows his final mission against Voldemort could cost Ginny her life. But with Voldy finally gone, Ginny and Harry definitely get married, though we have no exact date. It was most likely before their first son, James, was born.
You were suggesting that the Ministry had ordered the attack on this boy.
Reformed the Ministry of Magic. Throughout the Harry Potter book series, Rowling portrays the Ministry of Magic as bumbling and corrupt, full of ex-Death Eaters and their enablers like Dolores Umbridge. Cornelius Fudge, Minister of Magic from books 1 through 6, famously doubted that Voldemort had returned. His successor, Rufus Scrimgeour, went in the opposite direction and tried to co-opt Harry to spy on Dumbledore and support the wrongful imprisonment of Stanley Shunpike.
You were named after 2 headmasters of Hogwarts.
Had kids. Harry was the only child of James Potter and Lily Evans. Given the number of times he almost got killed in each book, it's understandable that he and Ginny chose to have more than one kid themselves. Harry's first son, James Sirius Potter, was born around 2004 and was sorted into Gryffindor just like his old daddy. So was his third child, Lily Luna Potter, born around 2008. But his middle child, Albus Severus Potter, was sorted into, wait for it, Slytherin, along with Draco Malfoy's son Scorpius. Scorpius would become Albus's best and only friend at Hogwarts. If you've seen Cursed Child, you'll know Harry's relationship with Albus was, well, rough.
Of course, there is someone who might be behind the attack.
Reunited with Dumbledore's army. In Book 6, no one believes Harry when he said Voldemort is back, except for his best friends, Dumbledore and other members of the Order of the Phoenix. Minister Cornelius Fudge decided Dumbledore must be using stories of Voldy's return to grab power, so he interfered at Hogwarts by letting Dolores Umbridge water down the school's defense against the dark arts curriculum. Harry fought back by starting Dumbledore's Army, a secret club devoted to real defensive magic training. Years later, he reunited with surviving members of the DA at the 427th Quidditch World Cup. He and his family and the DA were given VIP access to the World Cup campsite. Taking in Teddy Lupin. In Deathly Hallows, Remus Lupin and Nymphadora Tonks end up having a child named Teddy, only to be killed in the Battle of Hogwarts. Teddy is left an orphan, and Harry and Ginny more or less adopt him. In the epilogue to Hallows, the Potter family talk about how Teddy is a favorite with the children when he visits. According to hack journalist Rita Skeeter, young Teddy could be seen snogging Victoire, son of Bill and Fleur Weasley, at the 427th Quidditch World Cup, which raises an important question. How the hell does Rita still have a career?
I know what you did, Malfoy. You hacked her, didn't you?
Making up with Draco. Draco Malfoy is Harry's enemy at school. At first merely annoying, he becomes a genuine threat in Book 6 when he officially becomes a Death Eater. He's tasked by Voldemort with killing Albus Dumbledore, a task that Voldy knows could get the boy killed. And at the Battle of Hogwarts, he's so cowardly he even tries to turn in Harry, Ron, and Hermione after they rescue him from being burned to a crisp. But later, they make up. Draco and his family's last-minute switch to the good side spared his parents time in Azkaban, and Harry and Draco's sons eventually become best buds. Still not doing the reading. Harry and Ron Weasley are best friends at Hogwarts. They're both besties with Hermione as well, but she can feel like a third wheel sometimes because she's a great student and they're definitely not. She's always admonishing them for handing in homework late, begging her to write their essays for them, and definitely not doing their history of magic reading. Now, you'd think Harry would be more disciplined once he's in charge of magical law enforcement, but at the beginning of Cursed Child, Hermione, who's now the Minister of Magic, chides the Chosen One over his disorganized desk and the fact that he rarely completes paperwork on time.
How did you get there? I was talking to you there. No, you're there.
Found the last Time Turners. Theodore Nott is a Slytherin in Harry's year at Hogwarts, who mostly stays out of trouble. But later in life, Nott makes 2 Time Turners for Lucius Malfoy, Draco's dad. Time Turners are time travel devices, all of which were thought to have been destroyed at the end of Book 6. Unlike normal Time Turners, Notts can go back years, even decades into the past. In the year 2020, Harry arrests Nott and retrieves 1 Time Turner, a prototype that can only stay in the past for 5 minutes. Scorpius Malfoy and Albus Potter steal it from the Ministry to try to save Cedric Diggory from being killed by Voldemort. When they get stuck in the past, Draco reveals that he has a second, better Time Turner designed by Nott that can go back indefinitely. Draco and Harry use that Time Turner to rescue their kids from Voldemort's daughter, Delphine.
Congratulations. Use it well.
Dueled Theodore Nott. To find the last Time Turners, grown-up Harry has to duel and arrest Theodore Nott. He's a skilled potioneer, being only one of 12 students to advance to Newt-level potion classes under Horace Slughorn. Unlike Harry, Nott's success in Slughorn's class wasn't due to his possession of Snape's old textbook filled with helpful notes. If Nott's as good or better than Harry on paper, arresting Nott is no doubt a huge challenge for the Chosen One, but he got it done.
He killed my parents, didn't he?
He's not the best dad. Harry never met his dad in person. Even worse, every father figure he cultivates dies, one after the other. He has no frame of reference when raising his kids, least of all Albus, the middle child who ends up in Slytherin with Draco's son Scorpius. At the beginning of Albus's 4th year, Harry gives him the blanket his mother wrapped him in the night she and James died. Albus rejects the gift, and Harry admits that he sometimes wishes Albus weren't his son. As Albus and Scorpius' missteps add up in Cursed Child, Harry grows more authoritarian. He even demands that Professor McGonagall follow Albus on the Marauders map. Don't worry, he backs down, and by the end of the play, they make up.
I am not its true master.
He has weird dreams about Voldemort. During his son Albus's 4th year at Hogwarts, Harry begins to have dreams about unpleasant memories with the Dursleys, the Muggle relatives who mistreated him in his youth. At the end of each dream, he can hear the voice of Voldemort calling his name. When he wakes up, his scar hurts. It hasn't hurt since Voldemort died, leading him to wonder if the Dark Lord survived somehow. Not exactly. It turns out Voldy had a daughter named Delphine. Her attempts to use Albus and Scorpius to undo the past and bring the Dark Lord back create magical ripples that echo the effects Voldemort used to have on Harry's lightning-shaped scar.
Let the feast begin.
No more sugar? In 2011, the real 2011, a Muggle doctor named Gary Tobbs published an article in the New York Times titled, "Is Sugar Toxic?" He claims that sugar doesn't just widen your waistline, but has other chemically bad effects on your body that can lead to liver and heart problems. We think J.K. Rowling might have gotten the memo. In Cursed Child, when Hermione offers Harry some candy while visiting his office at the Ministry, he refuses. Can't, he says. We're off sugar at the moment. You know, you can get addicted to that stuff. Poor guy, and what a role reversal. Hermione's parents were dentists after all.
You're a really good teacher, Harry.
Guest lecturer at Hogwarts. Remember that time in school when a cop or AA member visited your class to lecture you on life choices? Well, the Defense Against the Dark Arts students at Hogwarts got a much better deal. After joining the Ministry as an Auror, Harry routinely acts as guest lecturer in that class. Given Harry's penchant for trusting his intuition, plus a whole lifetime of adventure compressed into adolescence, he probably took Alistair Moody's approach to teaching. Lay it on thick and prepare them for the worst, even in a world where Voldemort has gone for good.
Each pack's got a famous witch or wizard.
Gets his own chocolate frog card. On his first Hogwarts Express ride, Ron offers Harry a chocolate frog, which comes with a collectible card featuring the image of a famous witch or wizard. Ron is on a quest to collect every card there is, but later in life, he, Harry, and Hermione are featured on chocolate frog cards of their own. By now, Harry is probably used to seeing his image plastered everywhere. Harry has never embraced his fame, and if he can put up with Rita Skeeter still trassing him over 2 decades after we met her in Book 4, he can handle chocolate smudges on his photos.
This is the last I'm going to take of you and your nonsense.
Staying in touch with the Dursleys. The Dursleys are quite possibly some of the worst step-parents in fictional history. It's often played for laughs in the books, but the things Uncle Vernon, Aunt Petunia, and Cousin Dudley put Harry through are downright abusive. Locking him under the stairs, denying him food, laughing while Vernon's sister Marge sicks her dog on him, it's pretty bad. Still, according to J.K. Rowling, Harry stays on Christmas card terms with Dudley. Harry sometimes visits his cousin, and their kids play together, but during those visits, Dudley and Harry rarely talk to one another.
Then I suggest you take extra care, Mr. Potter.
Getting Snape's portrait in the headmaster's office. Severus Snape is by far Harry's least favorite Hogwarts teacher. Snape always docks points from Harry, grades him harshly, and rebukes him in every class. He hates Harry because Snape and Harry's dad were enemies at school. When Snape kills Dumbledore and rejoins Voldemort at the end of Half-Blood Prince, Harry's hatred for Snape only gets worse. Harry later learns that Snape hated James because he loved Lily, Harry's mother. What's more, Snape's murder of Dumbledore was prearranged between the two, as Voldy would never doubt him. So, after Hallows, according to J.K. Rowling, Harry makes sure that Snape's portrait hangs in the headmaster's office at Hogwarts.
Welcome to Hogwarts.
Never finished Hogwarts. In Deathly Hallows, Harry, Ron, and Hermione spend their final year away from Hogwarts, searching for the remaining Horcruxes that contain fragments of Voldemort's soul. That means they never finished school. Since Ron and Harry both wanted to become Aurors, it wasn't an issue. The Minister of Magic, Kingsley Shacklebolt, decided that all student survivors of the Battle of Hogwarts could become Aurors without finishing their nudes. But Hermione, setting her sights on the top job of Minister, went back to Hogwarts after Hallows to finish her final year.
Please greet the proud sons of Durmstrang.
Catching up with Crumb. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry gets roped into competing in the Triwizard Tournament by one of Voldemort's followers. He has 3 competitors: Cedric Diggory of Hufflepuff House, Fleur Delacour of Beauxbaton's Academy of Magic, and Victor Crumb, a student of Durmstrang Institute and one of the world's best Quidditch seekers. Harry had seen Victor play for Bulgaria at the Quidditch World Cup. Victor briefly dates Hermione in Goblet of Fire, which makes Ron jealous and Harry suspicious, but despite their formal rivalry, Harry is more than happy to catch up with Crumb at the 427th World Cup and enthusiastically supports Bulgaria. According to the Daily Prophet, Harry got emotional when Victor and the Bulgarian team won.
Well, how do I look?
Defeated Voldemort's daughter. Delphine is the daughter of Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange, a Death Eater and one of the Dark Lord's closest followers. Born sometime near the end of Half-Blood Prince, she ends up in the care of Euphemia Rowe, also a Death Eater. She is the main antagonist in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. She disguises herself as Amos Diggory's niece and convinces Albus Potter and Scorpius Malfoy to steal a time turner and travel to the past to save Cedric Diggory. It's all part of a ploy to fulfill a prophecy, which suggests that if Cedric had never died, neither would Voldemort at the Battle of Hogwarts. After a bunch of time jumping, Harry confronts Delphine inside a church, and she turns out to be a fierce adversary. Harry even loses his wand at one point, forcing him to duck behind a church pew and use wandless magic against Voldy's daughter. But as always, Harry's friends and family appear just in time to even the score and put an end to the influence of Voldemort on the wizarding world for good.
It's her son. He intends to hunt them down now to kill them.
So now you know what the boy who lived did after becoming the guy who just kept on living. Do you agree with this list? Do any of you Potterheads think we missed anything? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to CBR to stay up to date with all of our amazing videos. Thanks for watching.